I'm pregnant, and it's not yours. There's $5 million on this card. Our engagement is over. Silence. The kind of silence that's so total, it feels like death. Ethan Miller, stared at my fiancée, Victoria Sterling, sitting across from me, and my brain took a second to catch up. She was as flawless as ever, dressed in haute couture Chanel, her makeup so perfect she looked like a mannequin. Even her words carried a cool, detached air, like someone who'd never touched the real world. Well, this was a new one. A breakup announcement complete with a severance package. A buzzing sound filled my head. My first reaction wasn't anger or heartbreak, but damn, 5 million? For real. Had this woman been watching too many daytime soaps? I picked up the black card from the table. The cold, heavy metal was a stark reminder that this wasn't a dream. I glanced at it, an Amex Centurion. The props department had really gone all out. Seeing that I was speechless, Tori assumed I was devastated by the news. A familiar, mocking smirk touched her lips. Ethan, I know this is a lot to take in, but it's done. We can't be together anymore. Consider the 5 million compensation for the 3 years of your life I wasted. Take the money, and we'll be even. She paused, as if realizing she might sound too cruel, and added with phony sincerity, and don't worry about me. The baby's father. He's wonderful to me, and he'll be a great father. You don't need to worry. Worry about you? Are you kidding me? The only thing I was worried about was whether this 5 million would clear. A stampede of F-bombs went off in my head, but I forced my face to remain calm. I even managed a smile that probably looked more painful than a grimace. Oh, is that right? Well, congratulations then. My own voice sounded as dry as sandpaper. Tori was clearly disappointed by my reaction. In her fantasy script, I was supposed to fly into a rage, or maybe break down and ask her why, or even get on my knees and beg her not to leave. But I didn't. I just held the card, turning it over and over like some country bumpkin who'd never seen a piece of plastic before. Aren't you going to ask who the father is? She finally pressed, her voice laced with a need to show off. I laughed internally. Ask? Why would I ask? Was it because the horns I was now wearing weren't prominent enough? Or was I supposed to be curious about which god had bested me? Pointless. Truly pointless. No need, I said, looking up at her face, which was practically screaming. Ask me. Come on, ask me. Whoever he is, he managed to get you to carry his child and was willing to shell out 5 million to kick your fiancé to the curb. He must be some big shot. Me, I'm just a regular guy. I don't have big ambitions. This 5 million, it's actually a pretty big deal to me. The color drained from Tori's face. She probably hadn't expected me to be so honest, so materialistic. Ethan, is that all you think about? Money? Was our 3-year relationship only worth $5 million to you? Her chest heaved with indignation, the movement well accentuated by her designer dress. It was quite a sight. I rolled my eyes so hard I almost strained something. Lady, you're the one who put a price tag on it first. Now I want to talk about feelings? Tori, that's not really a fair way to put it, I said, deciding to trap her in a logic loop. You're the one who used $5 million as a metric for our relationship. Now that I've accepted your valuation, you're acting like I'm the one who cheapened it. You're putting me in a tough spot here. I held up my hands in a gesture of helpless innocence. You. Tori was so choked with anger she couldn't speak, her perfect face flushing a deep crimson. Just then, my phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out. It was a text alert from a bank. Chase alert. A direct deposit of $5,000,000,000 was made to your checking account, XXXX, on September 30th. Your new balance is $5,000,123.45. That long string of zeros swam before my eyes like a chorus of tiny, beautiful angels. Holy crap, it's real. In that instant, the betrayal, the cheating, the 3 years of my life, it all evaporated into thin air. All I knew was that Ethan Miller, the guy who had worked like a dog for the Sterling family, secretly cleaning up their messes while publicly playing the role of the kept man fiancé, was now free. And I was walking away with a $5 million retirement package. Forget thoughts and prayers. Send cash. The old proverbs were right all along. I shot to my feet, the sudden movement making Tori jump. She stared at me warily. Ethan, what are you doing? I ignored her. Taking a deep breath, I looked at my phone screen and plastered on the most genuine, radiant smile of my entire life. Then, right in front of her, I made a call. Hello, Henderson? Yes, it's Ethan Miller. I have a quick question for you. My ex-fiancé just gave me $5 million as a breakup settlement. The money is already in my account. From a legal standpoint, is there any chance she could try to claw it back later? Like, claiming it was a conditional gift that's now revocable? Henderson, my lawyer, was silent for a full 3 seconds. I'd probably short-circuited his brain. Across the table, Tori's beautiful face had gone from red to purple and was now rapidly approaching a ghastly white. She stared at me, her eyes wide with disbelief, as if I were some kind of monster. Perfect. This expression was so much more satisfying than any shouting match could ever be. Ethan Miller, you son of a bitch, you open this door right now. A thunderous pounding on my apartment door shattered the quiet, followed by a woman's voice, sharp and fiery. I was humming to myself, packing the last of my shirts into a suitcase. From the sound of it, Tori's best friend, Khloe Davis, had arrived. That girl. Her looks were as sweet as her name, like a watercolor painting come to life. But her temper, damn, she was a firecracker with a spicy Texan streak that could peel paint. If you don't open this door, I swear to God I will kick it down. You hear me? I slowly zipped up my suitcase and walked over to the door. The moment I opened it, Chloe's furious, red-cheeked face was inches from mine. She was in workout gear, her hair in a high ponytail, a sheen of sweat on her forehead. She'd clearly run here. Ethan, you. She pointed at me, then at the suitcase by my feet, her almond-shaped eyes wide. You're really leaving? Are you dumber than a box of rocks? You're just going to believe whatever that woman says? She says it's over, and you just pack your bags? What about the last 3 years you poured into this? I leaned against the doorframe and casually cleaned out an ear. Well now, Ms. Davis, did you rush all the way over here to see me off, or to give me a lecture? I ought to lecture you upside the head. Khloe slapped my arm, and she didn't hold back. Don't you know Tori is? She's just confused right now. You're the man. Can't you just cut her some slack? Go talk to her, apologize, and this whole thing will blow over. I had to laugh. Apologize? The little voice in my head was rolling on the floor. Was this girl for real? The woman was pregnant with another man's child and had paid me $5 million to disappear. What part of that was going to blow over? Was I supposed to wait for the next life? Khloe, honey, I said with a long-suffering sigh, I think you have a fundamental misunderstanding of the phrase confused right now. She's carrying another man's kid. That's not confusion. That's what we call a charitable contribution. You understand? My analogy made her choke on her words, her face turning red. Why you have to be so nasty? Don't you love her anymore? Love? Can you eat that? I patted my suitcase, which made a dull thud. Compared to some vague notion of love, I find $5 million to be substantially more. Substantial. Chloe's jaw dropped. She stared at me as if she'd never truly seen me before. $5 million? She really gave it to you? Signed, sealed, and delivered. I gave her a wink. So don't waste your breath trying to change my mind. I'm a newly minted, highly eligible bachelor about to start a brand new life. You should probably be more worried about your best friend. I have a feeling that baby isn't going to wait around forever. With that, I grabbed my suitcase and started to walk past her. But Khloe grabbed my arm. Her hand was small, but her grip was surprisingly strong. Ethan, you can't go. Her eyes were getting red, her voice cracking slightly. If you leave, what's going to happen with the Sterling family's business? All those projects, the investments. Are you just going to walk away from it all? You know that without you, Mr. Sterling. I stopped and turned to look at her. The late afternoon sun streamed through the window, casting a golden halo around her face. A single, glistening tear clung to her long eyelashes. Well, what do you know? The kid was sharper than she looked. It was true. The world thought I was just some kept man who'd latched onto a wealthy family. Only a handful of people knew the truth. That for the past 3 years, I was the reason Sterling Industries was still afloat. I was the one who had saved their most critical investment projects from collapsing. I made them money, and in return, they gave me the title of future son-in-law and a life that looked glamorous from the outside. It was a transaction, nothing more. As for Tori, she was just the prettiest ornament in the whole arrangement. And now, that ornament had grown legs and run off with someone else, leaving me a hefty contract termination fee in the process. Could things get any better? I looked at Chloe's face, etched with worry and desperation, and suddenly found the situation hilarious. Tori, the actual heiress, didn't give a damn about the fate of her family's company, but her best friend was here losing her mind over it. Khloe, let go. My voice turned cold. That's the Sterling family's problem. As of today, it has absolutely nothing to do with Ethan Miller. I slaved away for them for 3 years. I've done more than enough. Now it's time for me to live for myself. My icy tone must have startled her, because she instinctively released my arm. I rolled my suitcase into the elevator without a backward glance. As the doors slid shut, they cut off the sight of her stunned and wounded face. Leaning against the cool metal wall of the elevator, I let out a long, slow breath. Freedom. It felt so damn good. And as for what would happen to the Sterlings, not my problem. I, Ethan Miller, never make a losing deal. They thought $5 million was a payoff to get rid of me? How naive. That was just the first installment payment for their own stupidity. The real show was just getting started. What's the first thing you do when you get rich? You spend. You spend hard. I dragged my one and only suitcase straight to the most exclusive mall in the city, the Grandview Galleria. I used to come here with Tori all the time, my only role being the guy who carried the bags. I'd watch her swipe my supplementary card, paid for by her family, of course, without batting an eye. Things were different now. I was the one with the money. It was my turn to be the god. I walked into a menswear boutique that screamed expensive. A polished sales associate immediately approached me. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. How may I help you today? I glanced around the store, then pointed at the wrinkled clothes I was wearing. Anything that isn't this, I said, gesturing to the impeccably tailored suits hanging on the racks. If it looks good, I'll take one of each. The associate's professional smile froze on her face. She probably thought I was a lunatic here to cause trouble. I didn't waste any more words. I simply pulled the Amex Black Card from my wallet and flashed it in front of her. Her eyes lit up instantly, and her smile became about 80% more genuine. Of course, sir. Right this way. I'll get you started immediately. For the next hour, I was a real-life Ken doll, surrounded by a team of associates dressing me in one outfit after another. Dressed in a perfectly fitted Tom Ford suit, I looked in the mirror and saw a hint of the ruthless CEO I was about to become. I was in the middle of a swiping spree when a harsh, familiar voice cut through the air behind me. Well, look what we have here. Is that Ethan? Let me guess, after Tori kicked you to the curb, you took your little pity payment and came here to play dress-up? I turned around. Speak of the devil. Tori was clinging to the arm of a man, looking at me with pure disdain. The guy next to her was built like a brick house, his muscles straining the fabric of his tight t-shirt. He had tan skin, a buzz cut, and a gold chain around his neck thick enough to moor a small boat. A potent cloud of, gym sweat and cheap cologne assaulted my nostrils. This had to be the stud, Chad. Before I could say anything, he spoke up, his voice a grating Jersey Shore accent. What are you looking at, huh? Never seen a real man before. He squeezed Tori's waist possessively. Name's Chad. I'm Tori's man now. And hey, bro, I gotta thank you. Letting a smoke show like this go? Class act. His crude words made Tori flinch, but a smug look remained on her face. I couldn't be bothered arguing with a creature whose brain was located in his biceps. I just waved a dismissive hand at him. Don't mention it. I'm just happy to see you taking out the trash. She's all yours, buddy. Don't let me stop you. The hell did you just call her? Chad's temper flared, the veins in his neck popping. Tori quickly held him back. Chad, baby, don't. He's not worth it. Then she turned to me, her eyes filled with pity. Ethan, I'd be careful with that money if I were you. $5 million sounds like a lot, but at the rate you're going, it won't last long. I laughed. You don't have to worry about me, Your Highness. I took the dozen or so shopping bags from the associate and deliberately swung them in front of them. Money is meant to be spent, unlike some people who think they've landed a Prince Charming but might not even be the main event. My gaze flickered meaningfully over to Chad, whose face twitched. What are you talking about? Me and Tori are for real. We're getting married next month. Oh, married? I feigned surprise. That's fantastic. Where's the wedding? I'll be sure to stop by with a $5 million wedding gift. I put heavy emphasis on the words $5 million. Tori's face went white as a sheet. She knew exactly what I was doing. She'd used $5 million to buy her way out of our past, and I was using that same $5 million to toast her future. There's twisting the knife, and then there's this. You're despicable. Tori was trembling with rage. You're too kind. I walked past them with my bags. At the door, I stopped and turned back, giving them a bright, toothy grin. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. This boutique? I just bought it. As of right now, I'm the owner. So, would either of you like to sign up for a VIP membership? For old time's sake, I can give you a steep discount. Ignoring their shocked faces, I strolled out of the store to a chorus of "Have a good day, Mr. Miller" from the staff. Damn, the joy of being rich really is this simple. Leaving the Galleria, I took a cab to the most exclusive private club in the city, the Summit Club. After dropping a small fraction of my new fortune on a top-tier membership, I found a quiet private room, ordered a bottle of 82 Lafite, and settled in to wait. The door soon opened, and Khloe Davis burst in. She saw me drinking alone and stopped short. Ethan, what are you doing here? I thought you'd be hiding in a corner, crying my eyes out. I poured her a glass of wine. I asked you here tonight to talk about a business proposition. Business? Khloe's brow furrowed. What are you scheming now? If you're planning on using me to get revenge on Tori, Stop. I cut her off with a weary laugh. Are you aware that Sterling Industries is bidding on the big Hudson waterfront redevelopment project? Khloe nodded. Yeah, I've heard my dad talk about it. He said it's the whale everyone is trying to land. Exactly, I said, swirling the wine. Warren has leveraged nearly everything the company has on this project. But they've overlooked one fatal problem. Their financing is a house of cards, and their project proposal has a massive loophole in it. A loophole that I put there on purpose. Khloe's eyes went wide. You did that deliberately? Why? Why? I let out a cold laugh. I was their in-house genius for 3 years. They repaid me by having their daughter throw $5 million in my face. So now, I'm just collecting a little interest. I want to partner with you. Your family's in real estate. Sterling can't handle a project this big. Let's team up and take it from them. Khloe stared at me as if I were insane. Ethan, this is the Sterling family. You'll be declaring all-out war. The war was declared the moment Tori handed me that black card. I said, my eyes sharp as a razor. This is an opportunity for you and for me. If Sterling falls, Davis Properties can become the biggest name in New York, and I can finally take back everything that I'm owed. I'm giving you a choice. Go down with your best friend, or stand with me on top of the new world we're about to build. After a long moment, she lifted her head. What makes you so sure we'll win? I smiled, pulling a flash drive from my pocket and sliding it across the table. My ace in the hole is me. On that drive, you'll find the last 3 years of Sterling Industries' dirty little secrets. And you'll also find the other proposal I wrote for the Hudson Waterfront project. The perfect one. So what do you think? Are you ready to win? Tori Sterling was losing her mind. What do you mean our bid for the waterfront project was disqualified? Why? She shrieked in her phone. On the other end, her father, Warren Sterling, spoke in a voice choked with fury. Why? Because the proposal was full of holes and our financing fell through. The city has put a hold on the entire bidding process. Ethan was handling the proposal. Find him and bring him back here. Now. The line went dead. Tori stood there stunned. Ethan? It was always Ethan. Furious, she dialed his number. The number you have dialed is not available. He had blocked her. The realization hit her with a wave of humiliation and panic. Useless, she screamed, throwing her phone onto the bed as Chad walked in. What's going on, babe? He yawned. The company's in trouble, and it's all Ethan's fault. Tori snapped. The mention of my name made Chad's face darken. That pretty boy again? We both airing you. Stop, Tori yelled. My dad wants me to get him to fix this, but he blocked my number. Chad's eyes lit up with a sly, calculating look. Hey, is that all? I got this. But, my boys, they don't work for free. And I was just looking at this new Ferrari. Tori looked at him with disgust. But what other choice did she have? Fine. She tossed a credit card at him. The pin is 6/8. Just get it done. A few days later, I decided my new partner deserved a reward. I met Khloe at the most expensive jeweler in the city, a place I knew Tori loved. Sir, this ring, the heart of the ocean, is the crown jewel of our collection, the manager was droning on. I turned to Khloe. You like it? Her eyes darted from the blindingly blue ring to the price tag. No, it's awful. Too much. The tips of her ears turned bright red. She was a terrible liar. I smiled and turned to the manager. Okay, we'll take it. Wrap it up. Ethan, have you lost your mind? Khloe gasped. I just handed over my black card. As the transaction completed, Tori and Chad walked in. The moment Tori saw me standing with Khloe, holding a bag from this very store, her face turned blacker than coal. Khloe, what are you doing here with him? She demanded. Khloe shrank back, instinctively moving behind me. I stepped forward, shielding her. Well, if it isn't the happy couple. Come to do a little shopping? Oh wait, I forgot. With Sterling Industries about to go up in flames, you probably don't have the time, do you? Don't you dare, Ethan. Tori seethed. You're a despicable, backstabbing snake. Tori, that's enough. Khloe finally found her voice. This is your fault. You betrayed Ethan first. Tori looked as though she'd been slapped. Oh, I see. So you two have been sneaking around behind my back, is that it? That's not true. Khloe cried, her eyes welling up. Done with the conversation, I took Khloe's hand and slid the heart of the ocean onto her ring finger. Khloe, don't waste your breath on irrelevant people, I said, my voice loud enough for everyone to hear. We have more important things to do. Khloe froze, staring at the magnificent ring on her hand. Across from us, Tori completely lost it. The heart of the ocean, I had a hold on that ring, she shrieked. Ethan, how could you use my money to buy the ring I wanted and give it to this? This tramp. She lunged at us, but Chad held her back. I looked at her, my lips curling into a cruel smirk. Tori, you've got three things wrong. First, this money is mine now. I'll spend it however I damn well please. Second, this ring now belongs to Khloe. And third, I paused, pulling Khloe into my arms and placing a soft kiss on her forehead. She is not a tramp. She is my future fiancée. That evening, Warren Sterling found me. Khloe and I were at a taco truck, the kind with greasy plastic stools set up on the sidewalk. A couple of black Mercedes pulled up, and Warren got out. He looked 10 years older, his face etched with exhaustion and fury. He sat down at our table. Ethan, we need to talk. I took a bite of the taco before looking at him. Mr. Sterling, long time no see. This place doesn't seem like your style. His face was a mask of cold fury, but he swallowed his pride. Ethan, I know you're angry. Tori was foolish, and I apologize on her behalf. Apologize? I laughed. No need. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't have achieved financial freedom so quickly. Name your price, he said, cutting to the chase. How much to come back and fix the Hudson waterfront project? 100 million? 200. I shook my head. You still think everything can be measured in money, don't you? You could buy a lot, but you can't buy respect. For 3 years, I was just a tool to you. A useful one, but disposable. You aren't here because you're sorry. You're here because your daughter made a mess you can't clean up, and your favorite tool still has value. His face went pale. Sir, I said, my voice now devoid of any warmth, I can't afford to be associated with your family. I stood up, taking Khloe's hand. We're leaving. Ethan, he roared behind me. Don't you dare do this. I stopped but didn't turn around. Do what? I'm just returning the favor. I glanced back over my shoulder with a smile. Oh, by the way, that Hudson waterfront project? Davis Properties is very interested. We'll see you at the bid. In the month leading up to the bid, Khloe and I were inseparable, working day and night to perfect our proposal. Her sharp business acumen and relentless drive impressed me more every day. Our partnership was quickly becoming something more. Meanwhile, Tori's life was spiraling. With her allowance cut off and Sterling Industries stock in freefall, her money was running out. The $5 million she'd given me was her private fund, and what little remained was being bled dry by Chad, who now wanted a waterfront penthouse. One afternoon, Khloe and I were in a cafe when a loud argument erupted nearby. Tori, are you playing me? Where's the house you promised? It was Chad, shouting at a haggard-looking Tori. Chad, please stop, she sobbed, hiding her face. I don't have any more money. The company. I don't give a damn about your company. I care about money, he slammed a fist on the table. You said you were loaded. You're a liar. You're carrying my kid, and you're still hung up on your ex. You know what? If you want this baby, you get me the money for that house. Otherwise, I'll go to your old man myself and tell him all about the trash his perfect daughter is. His words were venomous. Tori broke down completely, a pathetic spectacle of the high and mighty princess brought low by a common thug. Khloe looked at me, a pained expression on her face. Ethan, maybe we should go. I shook my head, taking a slow sip of my coffee. No, I paid $5 million for this front row seat. I want to see the end of the show. There was no pity in my heart, only the cold satisfaction of justice served. The night before the bid, we finally finished. The office was quiet, save for the hum of the city outside. I'm beat, Khloe said, stretching. Watching her, a wave of affection washed over me. Khloe. She turned, her eyes bright. I pulled out the velvet box, opened it, and got down on one knee. I know this is sudden. I began, my voice more earnest than I'd ever heard it. And I know we started under complicated circumstances. I used to think love was a transaction. Then I met you. You stood by me when I had nothing, when everyone else saw me as a joke. I'm not a good man. I'm vengeful and ruthless. But I want to give what little softness I have left to you. I looked her in the eye. So, Khloe Davis, will you marry me, a $5 million upstart, and help me spend every last cent? Tears streamed down her face, but she was smiling. You fool. Who proposes like that? She choked out, extending her hand. I slid the ring, a symbol of one life ending and another beginning, onto her finger. It was a perfect fit. Just then my phone rang. A block number. I answered. It was Tori, her voice a terrified whisper. Ethan, help me. Chad. He's taken me to get rid of the baby. I don't want to. Please, save me. I listened to her desperate pleas, a cold smile playing on my lips. Without a word, I pressed the end call button and powered off my phone. Turning back to Khloe, I gently wiped the tears from her cheeks. Don't cry. Tomorrow is our victory. We need to look our best to celebrate our new life. The bidding meeting was a formality. When I, representing Davis Properties, presented our flawless proposal, I saw the blood drain from Warren Sterling's face. He knew it was over. The announcer confirmed it moments later. The winner of the Hudson Waterfront redevelopment project is Davis Properties. Thunderous applause filled the room. Khloe squeezed my hand, her palms slick with sweat. I squeezed back and smiled. It was done. Afterward, Warren approached me, the broken man. I lost. You lost the day you let your daughter hand me that card, I said. Please, he begged, his voice hollow. Don't destroy Sterling Industries. I'll give you half the company. I shook my head. You still don't get it. I never wanted your company. I just wanted justice. I led Khloe out of the conference hall into the bright afternoon sun, past a sea of flashing cameras. Her father was waiting for us, beaming, leaning against a brand new red Ferrari. You did it, kid, he said, pulling me into a bear hug. Call me Dad, he said, looking at our intertwined hands. I smiled. Dad. He grinned and shoved a thick red envelope into my hand. For my new son-in-law. We didn't go to a fancy celebration. We went home, to a sprawling penthouse overlooking the entire city, bought with the first of the $5 million. Standing at the floor-to-ceiling windows, Khloe wrapped her arms around me from behind. So this is it? Our home? Yes, I said, turning to hold her. Do you like it? As long as I'm with you, she murmured. I'll love it anywhere. I kissed her, the city lights twinkling below like a galaxy of our own. As for the Sterlings, their story ended not with a bang, but a whimper. Tori lost the baby, her health ruined. Sterling Industries, its credit line frozen and its reputation shattered, declared bankruptcy. Warren Sterling, a ghost of his former self, vanished from public life. But all of that was just noise from a world I'd already left behind. My new life, the real one, had just begun.